Have you ever wondered how the Jehovah's Witnesses, a group with millions of members worldwide, got their start? Jehovah's Witnesses trace their origins back to the 1870s. The movement was established by a man named Charles Taze Russell. Russell was a charismatic figure, unsatisfied with mainstream Christian teachings of his time. He sought to return to what he believed were the original teachings of the Bible, and so, the seeds of what would become Jehovah's Witnesses were sown. Central to Russell's teachings was a rejection of the doctrine of the Trinity, a cornerstone belief for many Christian denominations. Instead, Jehovah's Witnesses uphold the belief in Jehovah, translated from the Hebrew YHWH, as the one true God. They view Jesus Christ not as part of a divine Trinity, but as God's first creation, a being separate from God himself. This marked a significant departure from mainstream Christianity and shaped the unique identity of Jehovah's Witnesses. Russell also advocated for a literal interpretation of the Bible. He believed that every word of the scripture was inspired by God and should be followed strictly. This approach to biblical interpretation has remained a cornerstone of Jehovah's Witnesses' beliefs and practices. In the 1870s, Russell launched the Watchtower magazine, a publication that continues to be a central part of Jehovah's Witnesses' practices today. The Watchtower was, and still is, a platform for disseminating the group's interpretations of the Bible and for providing guidance to its members. It serves as a beacon, illuminating the path for Jehovah's Witnesses around the globe. The establishment of Jehovah's Witnesses wasn't a smooth journey. The movement faced and continues to face considerable controversy and challenges. But despite these obstacles, from the 1870s onwards, the Jehovah's Witnesses started to grow. They evolved from a small group of Bible students in Pennsylvania, USA, into a global community of believers, all united by their distinct interpretation of the Bible. From the 1870s onwards, the Jehovah's Witnesses started to grow, but not without controversy and challenges. The story continues, and we'll delve deeper into the expansion and controversies of this fascinating group in the next scene. As the Jehovah's Witnesses expanded, they faced significant opposition and controversy. What were the reasons? The 30s and 40s were turbulent times for the Jehovah's Witnesses. As their reach grew, so did their notoriety, and they found themselves at the center of several major controversies and legal battles. The primary reasons for these were their unique beliefs and practices, which often clashed with societal norms and expectations. One of the most contentious issues was their refusal to participate in military service. In an era marked by global conflict and patriotic fervor, this stance was seen as unpatriotic and even treasonous by some. Their belief in pacifism and neutrality in worldly affairs led many Jehovah's Witnesses to become conscientious objectors, refusing to fight in wars or engage in any form of military service. Another major source of controversy was their refusal to salute the flag. To the Jehovah's Witnesses, saluting the flag was akin to idolatry, an act that directly contradicted their religious principles. This stance was met with widespread disapproval and even led to instances of persecution. These controversies eventually led to a number of significant Supreme Court cases. These cases were not just pivotal moments for the Jehovah's Witnesses, but also for the United States as a whole. They challenged the boundaries of religious freedom and the right to conscientious objection, prompting a re-evaluation of these fundamental rights. The impact of these cases on U.S. law was profound. They not only upheld the rights of Jehovah's Witnesses to practice their religion freely, but also set important precedents for other religious groups. They reinforced the notion that religious freedom is a fundamental right, not just a privilege granted by society. Despite the controversies and the challenges they faced, the Jehovah's Witnesses were undeterred. Their resolve only strengthened, and their numbers continued to grow. Their unique teachings and practices, which had once been a source of controversy, began to attract followers from all corners of the globe. Despite the controversies, Jehovah's Witnesses continued to grow, with their unique teachings and practices attracting followers worldwide. In recent decades, how has the Jehovah's Witnesses organization evolved? Let's delve into this further. Since the 1950s, there have been substantial transformations in the Jehovah's Witnesses' practices and doctrines. The most prominent among them are the shifts in their end-times predictions and blood transfusion policies. Initially, the organization predicted the end of the world would occur in 1975, causing a surge in membership as people sought salvation. However, As 1975 came and went without the prophesied Armageddon, the organization was forced to reevaluate its end-times doctrine. Today, while they maintain a belief in an imminent end of the world, they refrain from setting specific dates, instead encouraging followers to live as if the end could come at any time. The blood transfusion policy of Jehovah's Witnesses has also seen significant evolution. Originally, the organization held a strict prohibition on blood transfusions, viewing them as a violation of biblical law. This led to numerous legal and ethical challenges, especially in emergency medical situations. Over time, the organization has nuanced its stance, allowing for the use of some blood fractions and individual conscience to dictate decisions about accepting certain medical treatments involving blood. In terms of growth and expansion, the Jehovah's Witnesses have seen a steady increase in membership, with millions of adherents worldwide today. Their preaching work has also reached new territories, crossing cultural and political boundaries. They have made concerted efforts to translate their literature into numerous languages, ensuring their message is accessible to a global audience. Despite these changes, one thing remains constant: the Jehovah's Witnesses' unwavering commitment to their distinct beliefs and practices. They continue to hold regular meetings, engage in door-to-door evangelism, and adhere to a literal interpretation of the Bible. Their dedication to living out their faith in all aspects of life is a defining characteristic of this religious group. Through all these changes, Jehovah's Witnesses have remained committed to their distinct beliefs and practices. This commitment, coupled with their adaptability, has undoubtedly played a key role in their growth and global presence today. So, what have we learned about the history of Jehovah's Witnesses? Let's take a moment to reflect on the journey we've traveled today. We started with the birth of a new religious group in the late 19th century. Founded by Charles Taze Russell, the Jehovah's Witnesses came into being, carrying a unique set of beliefs that distinguished them from mainstream Christian denominations. They held firm to the belief in a literal interpretation of the Bible, the imminent return of Jesus Christ, and the importance of using God's name, Jehovah, in worship. As the group expanded, it wasn't without controversy. The Jehovah's Witnesses faced societal backlash for their refusal to participate in certain societal norms like saluting the flag, serving in the military, or celebrating holidays and birthdays. These controversies brought them to the attention of the wider public and even led to legal battles that reached the Supreme Court. However, these trials only seemed to strengthen their resolve and commitment to their faith. In the modern era, the Jehovah's Witnesses have continued to evolve. They've embraced technology, using it as a tool to spread their message globally. The group's organizational structure has also transformed over time, with the establishment of the governing body that oversees the worldwide work of the religion. Delving into the history of the Jehovah's Witnesses, we've seen a group that has grown from a small band of believers to a global religious organization. They've faced trials, weathered controversies, and continued to adapt and evolve with the times. The story of the Jehovah's Witnesses is not just a tale of religious growth, but also a testament to the power of faith and conviction. It's important to remember that the history of any religious group is multifaceted and complex. It's shaped by the beliefs and actions of its followers, and by the wider societal and historical context in which it exists. The history of Jehovah's Witnesses provides a fascinating look at how a religious group can grow, evolve, and influence society in unexpected ways.